The war in the Middle East is sending shockwaves through global energy markets, and Bangladesh could soon feel the impact. Oil prices are rising, liquefied natural gas exports are disrupted, and one of the world's most critical shipping routes, the Strait of Hormuz, has effectively become a high-risk zone for energy shipments. For Bangladesh, a country that depends heavily on imported fuel and gas, the stakes are enormous. If the conflict continues, analysts warn the country could face fuel shortages, higher electricity costs, and rising prices across the economy. In this report, we break down what's happening, why it matters for Bangladesh, and what could come next. Channel CB. The latest escalation began after the United States and Israel launched attacks on Iran, prompting retaliatory strikes from Tehran. The fallout has already begun to disrupt energy flows across the Middle East. Several developments have heightened global concern. The Strait of Hormuz, a strategic shipping route for oil and gas, has effectively become unsafe for many vessels. Qatar temporarily suspended LNG production and exports following attacks. Saudi Aramco shut down its largest refinery at Ras Tanura as a precaution after Iranian drone strikes. These disruptions matter globally because about 20% of the world's oil and gas supply passes through the Strait of Hormuz. Shipping analytics firm Kepler reports that around 150 oil tankers are currently anchored outside the strait, waiting for safe passage. The situation has already pushed global crude prices up by around 10%, reaching roughly $80 per barrel, with analysts warning prices could climb above $100 if the conflict continues. At the same time, global LNG prices have surged by 20 to 25%. Bangladesh's energy system is particularly vulnerable to global disruptions because it relies heavily on imports. According to officials from the Energy and Mineral Resources Division, nearly 100% of Bangladesh's fuel oil is imported. All crude oil imports come from Saudi Arabia and the UAE. About 35% of the country's gas demand is met through imported LNG. Much of this energy supply originates in the Middle East. Officials say the country still has short-term fuel reserves. Current stock levels include diesel, 217,317 tons, enough for about 14 to 15 days. Petrol, 21,705 tons, about 17 days. Octane, 34,133 tons, roughly 31 days. Furnace oil, 78,278 tons, roughly 2 months. Additional shipments of diesel are also scheduled to arrive this week. But experts warn that Bangladesh's energy system depends on continuous imports. Even small delays across multiple shipments could quickly create pressure, especially during peak demand. Gas supply is another major concern. Bangladesh's daily gas demand is 3.8 billion cubic feet, but the current supply is only 2.65 billion cubic feet. Of that supply, 950 million cubic feet comes from imported LNG. Petrobangla plans to import 115 LNG cargoes this year, including 40 from Qatar, 16 from Oman, and 59 from the spot market. But Qatar, one of the world's largest LNG exporters, has halted production temporarily after attacks linked to the conflict. Officials say there is no immediate supply risk until March 12th, but disruptions after that could tighten supply significantly. Impact on Bangladesh's economy. If the crisis continues, the consequences could spread across several sectors. Agriculture. Diesel shortages could affect irrigation during the ongoing Baro rice season. Electricity. Lower gas imports could reduce power generation, potentially leading to load shedding. transport. Rising diesel prices could increase transportation costs, affecting supply chains. Household costs. Higher energy import costs could eventually push up domestic fuel prices and electricity tariffs. Bangladesh has faced a similar challenge before. During the 2022 Russia-Ukraine war, global LNG prices surged beyond $60 per unit. Bangladesh was forced to suspend spot LNG purchases for 7 months, leading to severe gas shortages, reduced power generation, and widespread load shedding. Analysts warn the current crisis could follow a similar path if the conflict escalates. For now, Bangladesh still has fuel reserves and incoming shipments, but the country's heavy dependence on imported energy means global geopolitical shocks can quickly translate into domestic economic pressure. If tensions in the Middle East persist, Bangladesh could soon face a difficult balancing act, securing alternative energy supplies while managing rising costs. The coming weeks will be critical.
Subscribe now for daily news and updates.